Indoctrinating slaves into Christianity may have helped slaveholders to better control Africans, but they still had to contend with members of their own culture who felt that the practice of slavery was against the will of God. However, slaveholders quickly turned to the Bible itself to defend against any objections to their system of holding human beings as property. For the most part, historians teach that these white slave owners who claimed to be Christian were simply horrible hypocrites who essentially ignored the message of freedom and equality that is found in the Bible. But even a cursory reading of Bible scripture calls this notion into serious question. There are several passages in the Bible, in both the Old and New Testament, that strongly suggest that slaveholders had scriptural support for their peculiar institution. To sanction the practice of slavery, many slaveholders used as their first line of defense two infamous curses, both found in the book of Genesis. The first curse stems from the story of Adam and Eve's first children, Cain and Abel. According to the Bible, Cain kills Abel because he is jealous that God has favored Abel's offering over his own. When God discovers Cain's crime, he administers his divine style of justice with a curse.
Now you are under a curse and driven from the ground, which opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. When you work the ground, it will no longer yield its crops for you. You will be a restless wanderer on the earth. Cain said to the Lord, "My punishment is more than I can bear. Today you are driving me from the land, and I will be hidden from your presence. I will be a restless wanderer on the earth, and whoever finds me will kill me." But the Lord said to him, "Not so. If anyone kills Cain, he will suffer vengeance 7 times over." Then the Lord put a mark on Cain, so that no one who found him would kill him. Genesis chapter 4, verses 11 through 15.
The color of Africans, the darkness of Africans, for those who are interested in oppressing this group, became the mark. Cain had a mark on his flesh. Africans bear a mark. It is their color.
Even if we take it at face value that the mark God gave Cain was black skin, the curse still fails as a justification for slavery when we apply simple logic. Noah, the hero of the great flood, is descended from Seth, Adam and Eve's third son. And since, according to the Bible, all people perished during the flood except Noah and his 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, all of the descendants of Cain would have died during the deluge, and the curse would have died with them. But as one curse died, another was born when Noah curses his grandson Canaan, the son of Ham. He curses Canaan because of some questionable activity that either Ham or Canaan does to Noah when Noah is drunk and naked in his tent.
Cursed be Canaan, the lowest of slaves will he be to his brothers. He also said, "Blessed be the Lord, the God of Shem." May Canaan be the slave of Shem. May God extend the territory of Japheth. May Japheth live in the tents of Shem, and may Canaan be his slave. Genesis chapter 9, verses 25 through 27.
According to slaveholders and their supporters, the sons of Noah were genetically diverse. One was European, one Asian, and one African. Slaveholders propagated the idea that Ham was black, and through his son Canaan, all black people are therefore cursed and condemned to be slaves.
The black man has been placed in a predicament today where he has seen, everything is fashioned to work against him. And so disillusioned, frustrated, we tend to want to say, well, probably we were cursed. No, we were not cursed.
Geographically and historically, those people had to have been black. And so I would have to question the mark being black skin.
I would say that there is no justification for slavery. I could care if it were the New Testament saying that. There's no justification for one man subjugating his or her fellow man.
The so-called curse of Cain, I think is, again, a lot of that's so much involved in interpretation.
We have as much right to interpret the Bible as white people and read into it what we see.
About the curse of Canaan and the mark of Cain, there is no evidence in all the rest of Scripture to support that is a justification for slavery. You cannot find anything else in the Bible to support that. But throughout the centuries, the Bible has been incredibly misused to support all kinds of concepts and ideas that simply weren't true.
So he cursed him, but he didn't say, nobody said anything about color or anything. I think the oppressors added that assumed that you were talking about the color.
The mark of Cain, the curse of Canaan, etc. Any of these things are nothing but Eurocentric attempts to justify their oppression of our people.
It's nonsense, complicated nonsense.
What most of them received was a form of the gospel that attempted to justify them being considered subhuman, that they were the children of Ham, related to Canaan. And as a result of that relationship, they were, by divine design, slaves.
That's black people's fault, partly. We're partly responsible for the way white people treat us. Because you put up with so much, so much of that nonsense. You just tell them, that's nonsense, that's stupid, and you ought to know it.